To make your card slot pockets, you will need your piece L, one piece as a backing, and then your 4 piece L's that are cut from this dotted line, interfaced with the interface cut out of the seam allowances and folded in half. You will also need 2 piece M's that are mirrored and interfaced. Okay. So each of these card slot pockets have been folded in half and ironed. And I cut out some thin sewing interfacing. This is Pellon 40. And I'm going to put it inside, and you can see I've cut this out of the seam allowance as well. And this just helps it hold up over time. Okay, I have my piece L piece, and make sure that you have it oriented the correct way. So it's 4 3/4 inch tall. Don't turn it that way. I'm going to take one of my card slots, and I'm going to arrange it so it is 3/4 inch from the top. And I am going to sew this on following my 1/4 inch seam allowance. And I have my next set that will go 5/8 inch below the next one. And I can't remember the metric conversions off the top of my head, but it's in the pattern. And this last one, I'm going to, instead of doing a 1/4 inch seam allowance, do an 1/8, so that my stitch doesn't end up showing up later on. So I have my card slots like this, and now I need my piece M pieces. I'll place them right sides together with the edges of the raw edges. And I will sew this with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. All right, now that these are sewn, we fold them back and top stitch them. But I always like to check out my slots here to make sure everything will fit. I made these just a little wider than normal because once there's 4 cards in, it can be pretty hard to get them in and out if it's narrower than this. So there should be plenty of space, but I always like to check. Okay, now you have your finished side that you will use in place of one of the plain piece Fs. And one thing you can do is measure it against your pattern piece to make sure it is the right size. And now you can go ahead and go back to the rest of the pattern and sew from there using this as your side.